Yes, everyone, welcome to Office Hours. So this is our second Office Hours we're running. So it's really just your chance to get all your questions and stuff answered. What were you, 3rd of August, 2022. And how the process works is most of you have submitted questions prior to this. You probably have some as we go. That's totally fine. You can direct message us privately, or you can put them in the chat towards the end. We've got quite a lot to go through. So that's kind of how it works. We'll answer, we've got all the questions, we'll read them out, everyone can hear them, and we work. So myself, I'm David, and we've got Kevin, he's in there as well. You've probably seen us around our Facebook group if you're in there. I know some of the people aren't actually in our Facebook group. So if you aren't and you want to be, let us know, we'll ping a link so we can let you know, because some of you, we usually post that you can register for Office Hours in the Facebook group, and then we'll send out an email later. We're not always probably going to email about Office Hours. So if you want to be on them, make sure you just go to the webinars page and see the ones that are up and coming. Okay, so that's /webinars on the OptimizePress site. So myself and Kevin, we're in the room. We're going to be hosting it tonight. General house rules, if you can, just give us a bit of attention. We'll probably run for about an hour. Switch off your devices. We have questions, but you can ask questions as we go. That's totally cool with us. Yeah, so the Q&A, we'll just as we go through it. And if you can keep the chat related to sort of what we're talking about, some of the questions will be really good. That helps us go through it. Chat is over on the right. If you're on a mobile device, it's a bit different. So if you're seeing a screen similar to this, chat is over there on the right. Yes, and then we're just going to jump straight in. So the process is usually we will read the question out, and then myself or Kevin will jump on it, and we can share our screens and we'll show you what we're doing as we go. I'm going to make my cursor nice and big, because the previous webinar we done last week, we couldn't see my cursor, and Kevin and myself have done a little bit of troubleshooting, so we've now got big cursors. Okay, so let's jump in, Kev. You ready? So I'll read out the first one, I guess. This is from Arvind. I don't know if Arvind's in the room. There's still people coming in the room. Okay, this is from Arvind. OpMentor includes all the features of membership and no other plugin required for creating a membership site. So I think his question is OpMentor the main thing that does it all, and is anything else required? Kev, do you know? What's your opinion there?
My opinion, and probably everybody else's who's spend a little bit of time in Mentor, you do not need any other membership plugins. So OpMentor can do it all for you. And if you have the checkouts plugin, then you can have the payments go through checkouts. The user automatically gets added. The password gets emailed to them, and you're good to go. The only other thing would be the funnel builder. You could have a funnel to have upsells and downsells for different membership products and services. For that, so we have the whole suite that you need to do that.
Yeah, that's it. So everything can be done. So Arvind, if you're on, there's the answer. You don't need anything else. So all your other plugins, obviously, if you've got memberships in them and they're running, then you might have to sort of either transition over by starting using your OpMentor, and then if you've got recurring billing and stuff going in your other plugin, you probably don't want to shut that off until maybe you've either manually moved it over. I don't know if you've done any of those, Kev, yet. Have you had anyone?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you have a decent membership plugin, they don't typically lock you in to their plugin for the subscriptions. So the subscriptions will still work in Stripe and PayPal, but the only problem with that is the notifications, like when their subscription is canceled or the billing stops or failed payments, you won't be notified about those anymore. But you can still have the member and just set up some notifications in Zapier or something to manually handle those until everybody is migrated over to the new payment system.
Okay, so it is doable for those people. Cool. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I have an OptimizeMentor question, please. This is from George. I think George was in the room. I did see George in the room. I have an OptimizeMentor question. I sell supplements offline. My membership site is free for 30 days to my customers. Then they have to reorder to get another 30 days. Is there a way for me to manually change or reset the expiration date for their membership when they reorder. Thanks a lot, George. I think George is in the room. Kev, I'm gonna let you take that one if you want. So yeah, you got the question.
It's a little bit difficult to wrap your head around something like that, but basically in OptimizeMentor, you can set the membership to expire after 30 days, and then they won't have access. The best thing to do would probably just be to get them on a recurring subscription, to where they're automatically going to get another order filled every 30 days, and then somehow tie the membership into that. I don't know if you're selling those on Checkouts plugin or some other platform, but we do have an API in Mentor now where you can add users from another shopping cart. That's probably going to be the base for an entire separate webinar, but it is possible to control that through other platforms now. But it's a little technical, so we can help with that if you need it.
Yeah, I was going to say, same as you, is you could try and to sell them on the recurring thing, you know, like you do with your Amazon and all these other sites that have this subscription. So you sort of tie them into subscription, slightly reduced price, but they know it's going to be recurring, and then they can either add on to their order, I guess, and you send them out a default order every month.
George posted in the chat he can't do it via subscription because it's all offline sales, which I didn't catch that part.
Okay.
But so if you're adding the users manually, then basically what you would do is still set the membership in the membership settings in Mentor to expire after 30 days. And
should we show him where that is, Kev? Do you want to show?
Yeah,
I can show my screen actually.
I can share mine if you want to.
Yeah, you go for it. I don't mind. Yeah, so George, my other question would be to you is like, why are they all offline? Can you not still bring them, although they can be offline sales, can't you still get them to just complete their order online? Or are you at like an event or something where you're processing those orders? That was probably what I would, if anyone says to me in business, it's offline, my instant answer is, you just get them online. Doesn't, try and get the payment if you can, just because people are adapting more and more to that. So Kev's going to show us where you can do it, George, in the membership. So every membership, you can set expiration like on different times, different days of the week, I think, as well.
Yeah,
Kev,
so when I go into the membership here, let me see, access duration.
Yeah.
You just set it to expire after like 30 days, like this right here.
Yeah.
And then just save the changes. And then they can be added back to the level again, and it'll expire again after another 30 days. So I don't know if that's how you
So I guess she's having to manually add those people back on, right?
Yeah, or just since the membership expires, it'll just basically the membership's taken away. And so you would just have to go under the members tab here and just basically add that membership back to them. It's really easy to do.
Cool. Hopefully that answers your question, George. I'm pretty sure it does. Thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, next one. Why don't we have sales pages, funnels and landing pages similar to ClickFunnels, or do we? Says Sam. I don't know if Sam's in the room. Let's have a look. So let me just, sorry, I forgot Kev, so just let me share my screen. So this is our next, so I don't want to mention that word too much on this webinar. Only joking. Yeah, we've got pages. You can pretty much build any kind of sales page in OptimizePress, Sam. So you could easily, if you have a ClickFunnels page that you like the style of, you could come into, firstly, I would go through our current templates and see if there's something similar in terms of length and content. But I would probably, if there's a particular style you're after, then I would probably just build it from scratch. Hello, Coach Freddie. How you doing? He or she's just come in. I think it's he. So you've got in here templates, see more, sales pages. I would try and find something similar, but it depends if you're using like a ClickFunnels pre-built page or you even had something custom built. Probably under sales pages. So we have loads of customers who pretty much clone designs of templates. I've done it for people as well. Some of my external stuff, people have asked me, can you clone a site? And it's like, yeah, there you go. So it is possible. So, but we don't have their templates because they're their designs. So we don't just copy their designs, but nothing's stopping you from getting creative and maybe stealing like an artist, I think they say. So yeah, just, you can do pretty much. I'm trying to think if there's anything similar to some of the ClickFunnels pages. I don't know exactly what you're trying to build. Some of those pages I've seen are, massive, really long. But there's some good sales pages in here that you could probably style something off. So I'm not really sure. If I could see the page, Sam, obviously I could then bring up the page and go, right, yeah, we can do that. But I know we can. I've styled some before and styled loads of them like ClickFunnels pages. I don't think Sam is in the room.
I would
see
just like to add to that when we create templates, we only would release something like as far as a sales page or checkout page that design that would actually convert. So we do test those, I think, right, David?
Yeah. Well, we try and, if we've got pages that we'd rather create a high converting page, but I think a lot of that comes down to niche and everything. Every niche is so different in terms of, and the audience that they have. Some people could say your page is rubbish, but someone else with a different audience, it could convert. Really, hard one. I think a lot of it comes down to, in this question example, is that Sam's obviously seen the design he likes, then he wants to mimic that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it should be possible.
Yeah, and I've not had anything I can't build at the moment. Okay, this is from Freddie, who's just popped in. Larry's just said in the chat regarding specific similar pages, ClickFunnels, or other products I've been able to replicate. Yeah, all of those. Yeah, same. So Larry's doing that, and people are doing that. They'll find a sales page they like, and they just rebuild it in OptimizePress. So yeah, it's doable. Okay, this is from Freddie. I've converted my website to a one-page homepage that has the registration and the login on the same homepage that goes to a free mini course that leads up to a paid course. Is it a good idea to have both the registration and the login on the same homepage? Freddie, that is, sorry. Do you want to take that, Kev?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, obviously. With coming from a background in WordPress and knowing a lot about security things, I would personally never put a registration page on the homepage of my site. However, what I would do is perhaps use an opt-in form and get them on your email list and then send them to the page for registration from an autoresponder in your email.
Yeah. Yes, and also, I mean, maybe we might change our forms. If people want to send us their websites, we could look at them. So to answer this, it depends what your homepage is doing. If your homepage is your main lead capture page of your site, if you're using like a lead capture straight at the top, you probably don't want any of those things on there. There's no harm. It really depends on what that site is. If your homepage, if it's more of an information homepage, which is telling you about what you do and who you work with and some of your history, and then it links through to your other landing pages and stuff, then it's fine to probably have those. I think I'm probably more used to clicking through to a login page. If I still have the login link and registration in the navigation, but I'm more used to clicking through to those pages and then submitting the form. It also depends on what is your main call to action of that page, because once you start having registration and login, it can just get confusing. You'll distract from your other main call to action. So if your main call to action is get people to sign up to your email list, and then they've seen a registration or a login form, it really can change. Fine if you've got your registration form is connecting to your email provider, so you're getting them registered. I'm guessing you are using like the login and registration form to do it. So when you've got OptimizeMentor installed, you get a sign up and a login form, so you can actually switch that around. One way to do it is actually use like the content toggle switcher. I will just show you this as an example. I don't know if I've done it on one of these pages. but you can actually open up and have. Actually, what I'll do is I'll add a new page. So you can have the sign up form and the login on like a content switch. So you could have them little toggles. So you just see one form, and then from there they can click that to toggle between the sign up and the registration. I'll throw it on a page here to show you what I mean, because I'd done this on the membership site that I built on last week's webinar. I created the same kind of effect. I had a registration form and a login form on the same page, and you just toggle between the both. So Freddie, to answer your question, if you've got main call to action stuff on there, you don't want anything else. You don't want login. You don't want all that kind of stuff because it'll distract people. But if it's like an information based site and you're collecting names and emails when they register for free, I think you did actually say for free in your, it's a free, I think your question did actually say, okay, you got a free mini course that leads to a paid course. So if they're registering to get on the free course, then, I would say that's fine because you're getting their name and email and the details. One thing you can try is like using, so that's the sign up form element. There's also the toggle switch between, so you can have the same form. I'll just show you quickly on this one, let that drop in when it wants to go in. And then if you use the toggle, I just like this because or is it the switcher? I think it's a switcher.
Yeah, two-panel switcher.
I like this. Yeah, this is just because it just makes it gives it a nice experience. So for me, I would change this to be whatever your process is, like login. So you click login and let's just go through all those steps. I don't need that. And then you just duplicate that and then you put that into the sign up page. Let me just switch, let's load. And once it complete, I think I might have clicked a bit too quick for my site. Okay, close. Yes, look, you got the left one. So what I do is I drag this into here, put it below the text, and you could call this login. So let's just take that as login. And then on this one, you could call it sign up or register, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then you just have to obviously click this to switch this over to register. So you click on that and it'll change over to register. And then you could go and get the sign up form again and drop it into the register panel, but just go through and change the registrations. You have the login and sign up. It's just a simple toggle switch rather than having multiple forms. So that's, for me, that would be a much neater process. So when you come in here, you then choose sign up and go through each of the steps. So that's how I would, if I had to have those both on the same page, that's how I would do it, just to make it quite a more of a seamless experience. So people didn't have multiple forms on a page. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more obvious that way too, what options they have.
There we go. So look, I'm logged in already. It's showing me, and then you got register because I'm already logged in. But you just switch between the forms. That's not a good example, is it? Let me just open that. Hopefully that answers the question, Freddie. I think you're still in. So yeah. So hopefully that answers the questions. Here that is. I didn't publish the page. Sorry. Let me just go back and publish. So yeah, if you're doing it, do it that way. If you wouldn't have to have them on the same page, have a toggle or a switcher. I think it's just a nicer experience like that. You see, that's how it works. So you could do that. Larry said, just for documentation purpose, I'll say that I rebuilt his entire ClickFunnels pages in OP and added the pixels and automation using OP and ConvertKit, then got rid of and saved $297 a month. Wow, love that. Can we take that as a testimonial, Larry? That'd be good for us to have. Okay, let's go on to the next question. So it just shows you. So Larry said he moved everything over. Of course, thank you. We'll be in touch. Yeah, and it does show you if you the CF is great. It's a great platform as well, but some people just can't afford it. We've tested it out. I've tested it out loads, but we have a lot of people who come and they're starting out. They can't afford the charge. But it's a great platform, great community. Let's have a look. Okay, so do you have a plugin for attaching legal contracts to OP3 from Sandra? Yeah, we don't. We don't have a plugin, but do you know there's loads of sites, right, Kev?
Reading the question here a couple times, I think the real question is how can we embed a legal contract into an OptimizePress page where they would basically sign the contract?
Okay, yeah.
You could use a service like DocuSign and stuff like that, and I believe they have a way to embed the form on a web page. So that might be something that you could do, or even have a link directly to the document. Now, if you're asking about how to get legal pages on your site, you could create those pages in OptimizePress and put the text for like your privacy policy and stuff like that without a problem.
As separate pages.
Yeah, but there's not really, we don't provide any tools like that because
No. There's a
legal
few
documents
document generators.
are going to be different for different kind of businesses. So there's not really a one size fits all on that.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a few like legal policy generators that sort of have default or blanket kind of privacy policies and stuff, and you can go and get those.
Yeah.
You probably, this is not legal advice we're giving you, but you probably should get them checked out by a lawyer if if they're on your site. This is the custom HTML. Is that how you do it with the DocuSign? Do you embed the custom HTML, use the element? I'm guessing for that we don't have an element for that, but I'm guessing, Kev, if it's embed in iframe, I think, doesn't it, for DocuSign?
Yeah.
When I used to use it, it had embed iframe, so you could use the custom HTML element like this, and then paste in the code here, whatever your DocuSign code is, and it works as an iframe on the page, and then the person could then, if they need to be signed.
Yeah, there's some iframes don't work too well in the page builder for some reason. It just depends on what you're actually embedding. So sometimes you may have to use a plugin called Short Coder to create a short code with your custom code and then drop that in the custom HTML.
Okay, right. I think there's a Sandra on tonight, so hopefully that answers your question, Sandra. If that's not what you meant by your question, just post it in the chat. So there is a Sandra in the room. I think that might be her.
Now, there is one website that I've used before. It's called getterms.io. They seem to have a pretty good policy generator there. It does cost a little bit of money, but it's really well worth it.
So Sandra, the question was about this. We don't have a plugin for attaching legal contracts, but we think what you might have meant by that is, can you embed contracts in your pages? If that was the question, then you can do this. Use our custom HTML element to do that. Or if the question was regarding, actually finding legal contracts, then we're saying there's like contract generators and things you can get that create legal forms. But yeah, this is not legal advice. So you need to obviously get, okay, so you need a place where someone can sign the document. Yeah, so you could use like DocuSign, which you're probably familiar with, and then embed that into the form using this custom HTML element. Because it's an iframe, like Kev just said, it doesn't sometimes perform well because they pull in the code in from elsewhere. If that doesn't work, there's a shortcode option, but you're probably best to just open a ticket. And if you just put in it, like maybe in the ticket title, office hours webinar question, then Kev will be able to pick it up easier, and he might be able to show you the there you go, the plugin shortcode option. So does that generate shortcodes, Kev?
Yeah. So you put your own custom code in there, and then you save it like any other like code snippet plugin. But what it does is it creates a shortcode where you can insert that on any page. Now, the one thing I will say about DocuSign, sometimes they just have a link. So that might be something where if you want people to sign a contract, maybe on a membership site, you can have them log in, and then you put the link there. I'm not quite sure how that would work exactly, but I've seen people do that before.
Yeah, okay. So hopefully that helps. Sandra was saying is that this generates shortcode. So you use this plugin, which then converts your frame or your whatever DocuSign into a shortcode, and then you paste that shortcode in here rather than pasting all that text in.
Yeah,
and that should perform much better.
I've seen people use that plugin before also, because I mean, while we do have a way to put code on a page, sometimes the code may not play well with the editor. So maybe the page won't save or something until you take that code out. But the shortcoder plugin is definitely a really good workaround for that.
Awesome. I'm learning something every time I speak to you, Kev. I didn't know that plugin. Okay, so here's the next question. I'm wondering if setting up checkouts is an interference with PMPs. That's Paid Membership Pro. If no one knows what PMP is, I'm pretty sure that's what we have here. I'm also curious on how to move forward to work in harmony with PMP and OptimizeMentor so that I have no issues. Your insights much appreciated. Donnelly's just also posed another question. But yeah, we come to that. So she's I'm wondering if setting up checkouts is an interference with PMP. Yeah, our checkouts. Well, we could have a rule, right, Kev?
Yeah, we don't
do this.
It
I'll
wouldn't
let you answer this one.
definitely wouldn't interfere with Paid Membership Pro with checkouts because we have integration directly with that plugin.
Yeah.
But I think what she's asking is if that would interfere with the Mentor plugin. As a general rule of thumb, I would say that using more than one membership plugin is never a good long-term solution.
Yeah.
I don't think there would be any trouble using both of those together for a short time, at least while you migrate fully into the Mentor plugin. But definitely the end goal should be to just use one membership plugin.
Yeah, that's definitely, yeah. It should, depending on obviously how many members you got, the migration or the change, we just said that in the other question, the billing things that you can also bring over. Most of those process through Stripe, and there's a way of bringing members over. But yeah, I wouldn't, from my WordPress experience, I would just always, the less plugins, the better.
Yeah.
And Donnelly also posted a question just in chat there, was about the browser. Firefox is, just to answer that, because it's your question, Firefox is probably the preferred browser for OptimizePress. Only because Chrome's lately just having lots of buggy things. I'm noticing weird things in Chrome.
Yeah,
I use both Chrome and Firefox. Yeah.
But there's been some issues lately, but Firefox I think is the safest one to use. And then I've seen people use Safari, stable, but it depends on what version of Safari you're using. You need to make sure that you have an updated iOS and Safari version, because some of the older ones are not suited for a modern page builder such as OptimizePress.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome right now actually for this, and I switch between both Chrome and Firefox. It depends what I'm generally doing, but so that hopefully answers that one. Let's go on to the next question. The problem I have is that when registering for a course, it does not redirect me to the access page of the same. I think that's the same course. Oh, this was actually, I think this was written in another language, and I translated it. I'm not sure if Ismail is on,
okay.
So hopefully we'll be able to, hopefully he'll be able to understand our answer. But so he was asking the redirect option for setting, how can I delete a course that are no longer used? You can answer this if you like, Kev, or I can show.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the redirection is you want to make sure if you go to Mentor and settings, there's redirection options there. You want to make sure you have the correct pages set up. Now, if you have other membership plugins or other plugins that control redirections on logins, such as a forum plugin, then that can sometimes mess with redirects from plugins like OptimizePress. But this is where you definitely want to set up. You want to have the after login page and then the after registration page, which is near the bottom there.
So could that be where Paid Membership Pro might conflict?
Yes.
Because if you have different login, so those redirects, as Paid Membership Pro, you set your own ones in there as well, I think, don't you? So you could choose which pages it redirected
to. That may have a conflict. I think the way it is though on our registration and login forms, there's a specific redirect set up, but some other plugins that control the redirects could definitely potentially have a problem with that.
So when you install OptimizeMentor, these pages get automatically built, which you can see on the site here. They're automatically created, and they're just let's let that switch to that view, and you can see them here. I've got my account, no access, or after registration, so on. So they get automatically created, but you can override them. So these are default pages set in the main OptimizeMentor settings, but you can then override those individually on every membership that you have. So you can come into redirect options here and choose to override it. On the webinar I done last week, we done that. We used this option to override a page where people logged in and they redirected back to the same funnel page that I'd set up. So if you watch that webinar, awesome webinar, that one, wasn't it, Kev? That, we covered this exact feature actually. So hopefully if Ismail watches this back, he'll see how to do it, and anyone else. So you can redirect, you can override the redirect options, and then you can say, actually, I wanted to redirect it back to whatever funnel page or some other page on your site. So that's how you do the redirect options there. We'll get the questions in the chat in a bit, folks, as you see you're posting questions there. Okay, next one we have, does one really need an expensive website anymore? Can't we just use a nice blog with links to our products and services? Isn't it better to have a YouTube channel videos and put a link on the blog with a short introduction? This is from Avia. Avia. I don't know if she's in or he or she is in. For me personally, I'm thinking anything. Yeah, I don't know. It depends totally what your niche is. It depends your audience, your business. You know, there's still businesses paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a website because they think they need all the bells and whistles. There's still people paying that actually when they're starting up a business. They don't even have an audience, which I find completely bizarre. I can't, unless the money's not a problem to them, I don't understand why anyone would do that. But my answer is, I don't think it's not about the expensive website. You can make any website with like OptimizePress. You can make it look like this really slick, expensive site, or a really simple, basic, you know, nothing much to it site. So I think a lot of this just comes down to the audience, your niche, your products, what you're selling. You know, how big do you need the site? How many products you're selling? You know, what are your services? How you're delivering that content? And yeah, people do that. They just have a YouTube channel as their platform and then redirect everyone. But actually they don't. I found a site the other day that had literally millions and millions of views on it. They didn't even have a website. And I just couldn't, that blew me away. So some of the biggest YouTubers actually don't even have websites still. They're using whatever features YouTube bring out. They don't even collect names and emails. And that just baffles me. So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one to answer. I'm not sure what your thoughts on it, Kev.
I like YouTube, but like any other platform, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So definitely, I would still have a website. I wouldn't just go with a cheap looking blog. I mean, definitely have a nice logo. Make sure your color palette's easy on the eyes, and get your call to action above the fold before you scroll down the page. Get people on a list, and then your list is really your moneymaker.
So in that example, if you're running YouTube stuff, you've got to get people off those platforms, which is still harder and harder and harder. Like the stuff my kids are watching, the people aren't even doing that. They're not even getting people off YouTube and onto a mailing list. And I was speaking to some big YouTubers that actually live near me here. They run a big parkour channel. It's massive, like absolutely massive. There's 5 of these guys. They're huge. And I was just looking over their site to see how they're doing things. And still, like, that's it. All you've got to start doing is getting people off those platforms. And it's the same with Instagram and these places. People aren't taking their followers off those platforms, and they're leaving all their eggs in the one basket. So to answer, I guess, Avia's question is, it doesn't have to be an expensive website, but just get a landing page to collect names and emails from your people that are finding you on all these platforms. And that applies actually to any sort of social media channel, I guess. Okay, so next one, with OP3, can I delete these 2 themes, Smart Theme version 3 and 2021 theme? That's from Philippe, I think is in the chat as well, and has another question down here.
Basically the same question.
Oh, right, is it? Yes. Yeah, you go, Kev.
You don't have to use any specific theme. So we include the Smart Theme because it has a way for you to add opt-in forms into the blog, which is one of the big things that we were asked to add a long time ago. But if you want to, WordPress requires that you have at least one theme activated And while we do include that, you don't have to use it. You can use just about any other theme that you want, as long as it's compatible with modern page builders.
Yeah.
So if you want to delete those themes, you can. You just have to make sure you have another default theme there available. Our page builder works independent from the theme, so it doesn't really rely on a theme to work.
Yeah, we have some pretty big customers that have big blogs, and they still use OptimizePress alongside those other themes. On my sites, any WordPress site I've got, I delete. You just saw me do that on the screen there. I deleted that theme. I always have one other backup theme if I'm not having the smart theme. So yeah, just get rid of it. Well, I mean, only reason I get rid of them because I just don't want it to bog down like my database and stuff. It probably doesn't make any difference, but I just have it for clean and being organized. Yeah, so don't be afraid to delete the themes, especially if they're out of date as well. You must just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. How can we give members access to free course membership if they aren't purchasing anything, maybe just opting in? Opting in. From Angela. I don't know if Angela's in the room. There's lots more people coming in, so it's great to see everyone here. Do you want to take this, Kev, or should we set up or show the process?
Yeah, so there's two ways. One, you could use the registration form that Dave showed earlier in the webinar.
Okay, let's switch over.
Another option is to make a landing page. So let me see if I can.
Do you want to share your screen, or do you want?
Yeah, I could do that. Just give me a second here.
You can take over. Thank you, everyone who's coming in. Scott, we'll get to your question. It's been marked as a question. We see you posted that there. We'll come to that in a sec. I think we finished answering that one, didn't we? Yes.
Okay, so you could use an opt-in form to do this. So if you go to edit the integration, you have OptimizeMentor in there, and if you select that and click next, then you can add a membership. Now, my memberships, I just named them Course 1 and Course 2, so these are not actually courses, they're just memberships. I know that's probably confusing, and you can actually add both of them if you wanted to. And then just go through and you can select, first name, last name, email. And it works just like the opt-in form because that's what it is. So you can redirect to a URL or just notify them. And that's really all you have to do. And that's basically a registration form, and then they'll get an email with the logins. Or if you want to use the registration form, then they create their own password. So that's really the main difference there. But the only thing I don't like about using the opt-in form for this is that you can't add them to your email list, which you can't really do in the registration form anyways. But I think an opt-in form is a little bit more pleasant to the eyes than the registration form.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, when they're asked to create a password, they kind of shy away from it. So I think the opt-in form would definitely convert a little bit better in that scenario. But it's basically the same thing.
Yeah, I think that feature is possibly coming, isn't it? Where we can have both form and add to mailing list.
Yeah.
I think it's possibly, there's talk of it because we know it'd be quite an easy.
Yeah, I think
nice
we have
feature.
quite a few things planned for checkouts and opt-in forms and forms in general. So hopefully we'll see some improvements on that in the future.
Yeah, and what Kev was saying about he doesn't have any. His memberships were called courses. You don't. I think I answered this in the Facebook group yesterday as well. Someone said about, do I have to have courses? And like you don't have to have a course, but you need to have membership set up for people to protect any content. So even if you don't use the course function layout inside of OptimizeMentor, you can have membership set up, and that means you can then go and protect anything on your site just by going into the membership and choosing whatever page it is you want to protect, and that instantly protects that page. So you don't have to use the course feature up here. You don't have to go and structure courses. Just come into content access, choose here the pages you want, either the page or all pages. But as soon as you do this, be careful if you choose something like all posts, that'll just instantly lock down your entire site. That means you have to be on this membership plan to get access to all your posts. So you can quickly. So in that example with using a free, having a free course or membership, it's the same kind of process. You just got to make sure when they join, they go onto the right membership and whatever content.
And if you created the course in Mentor, then you would just make sure you have the access set up to where it's protected by one of the memberships. And then if you add, you can have 5 or as many memberships as you want protecting the same course. So if you want to give that course for free, you can create one membership just for that course. And then if you also want to include that course on a bundle of courses when they pay for something, then you can also protect it that way as well.
There you have it. Nice. Okay, let's see. We've got, I think Scott asked one as well. Let's just jump to Scott here. Okay, so Scott says, when do you think you'll come out with additional nesting features within Mentor for classes inside of classes, like a different or additional hierarchy? I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if that's. Do you know anything about that, Kev?
We've been asked
I need to think of
about
an example
this.
where you'd need it.
We've been asked about it, but I think that's something that's going to happen later down the road because there's a lot of other features that are planned in Mentor that need to get done before we can do that.
So would this be like having a lesson within a lesson?
Well, it'd be like modules and sub-modules, and then lessons,
Okay.
and then you maybe sub-lessons as well. So it would just take the course builder a little bit further.
More advanced,
creating different levels. So like in this example, if lesson 2 was like a sub lesson of lesson 1, I guess the thing about that is if you have multiple videos or something for a lesson, you can do sub lessons, but getting too complicated on that, it's just going to make members get confused anyways. So we just typically suggest sticking to modules and lessons, but I do see a need for us to maybe look into expanding that in the future.
Yeah, we'll put that forward into the feature box, Scott. I'd love to see your site as an example where you use that. One thing I was going to say, we do have the chapter function here, which helps you organize. The chapter thing doesn't really do much, but it's great for organizing your content. So if you know everything is in a particular chapter, you can use that. You can create chapters really to look when you start viewing your course. It's just a great way to structure and look at it and organize your content. It doesn't create like these other lessons or module pages within. It's just like it's like chaptering. It's like really bookmarking. Or when you see a course built with chapters, it's quite nice because then you can just visualize and understand everything. So if that's what you're thinking, it helps you understand and structure your courses, then you could actually use chapters to get around it. But if you actually need to have sub modules and sub lessons, then we'll put it in the feature suggestion box.
Yeah, I think Scott had a ticket open with me a little while back.
Okay.
We talked about this, and he had already created all the videos and graphics and stuff and had it where it needed to be laid out a specific way, and it just wasn't going to work. But hopefully we'll get to that at some point.
Sorry about that now, Scott, but we'll if enough people request it, and there's demand, I'm sure we'll look at doing it. Okay, another question we had in the support desk was, is there any way to take an already created OptimizePress 3 page and convert it to a new funnel? This I saw this being answered in our Facebook group the other day as well. Yeah, do you want to take this, Kev, or do you want me to do it?
I'll let you do that. I don't have funnels set up on my test site I'm logged into. So
any page you build with OptimizePress can be converted into a funnel and vice versa. So if you had made a page already, if I go just to all pages, let's say that page I'd just been working on was the sign up page we had at the start of the webinar. And we wanted to use that inside a funnel. There's an option inside every page. So funnel is part of our OptimizePress suite. So if you're not on the OptimizePress suite and you've no idea what I'm talking about, funnels, checkouts, and Mentor, I think most of you are on the webinar, have the suite package. So what you can do with it is you can, there's just a little checkbox that says use this page in a funnel. So you need to go into the page builder and let it open up. And then what you want to do is check this option, which is in the settings, and it just says you only see this if you have funnels installed. This is where my site goes really slow when I do these webinars. I think because my fan is running on my computer as well, which is blowing away, so you can probably hear it. But okay, here we go. Into settings here. You've got optimized funnels listed. You see it here, and it just says funnel page template, and you just turn that on. So turn that on and save it, and then that is now usable inside of your funnel. So when you come out of here and we go into a funnel, I'll open this up actually in another window as well. So let this page close down. There we go. So go to funnel dashboard, open that in another tab. So I've got the other page. And then when you go into the funnel that you're working on, and then you go and add a funnel or add a page, let's go to this one. You just have to choose the option for my templates or user pages. There's two different ones. So let's click on this plus symbol here to add a new funnel page. We click on that, create from a template. That's what we want to do. And then we have my templates and user pages, these two options here. Okay, my templates is cloud stuff. So that's stuff you have in your cloud library account. User pages are ones you just turn on from inside of Optimize, that setting that I just turned on inside the page builder. So this one I just turned on was called toggle. You can see down here it says toggle. It will build its own little thumbnail image eventually, so don't worry if you're seeing it like mine. So that's how you do it, and then you can just click use this template and add it, and it just gets added to the funnel. So that answers that question. So you can do it with any page. If you've built a whole entire site, and then you've built an entire site and you've moved it to another domain and you want to start using it inside funnels, that's how you can do it. And it's also the same for if you're exporting a template, that's how you would also, sorry, not how you do it. If you were wanting to use this template on another OptimizePress site, which is a different domain name, what you want to do is use the option to export it to the cloud. And then you can go into the cloud and pull it down using that My Templates option. So when you're in the page and you want to export it, you go to settings, you go to export here, you choose export template, follow that wizard through. And then when you're building a new page inside OptimizePress, you go to create new page. And the template category here is, okay, let me just leave that. I didn't save that funnel. That's why it's not letting me leave. There's an option when you're creating a new template called My Templates, and all of those here, you've got it here. I'm trying to click quicker than the page is loading. I'm conscious of the time. All these templates here, you see, these are all templates that are in my cloud account. And I can then, so if I connect OptimizePress on another domain name, as long as I connect it to my same OptimizePress account, I can then pull these templates down from the cloud and use them on that other site. So that's kind of, I know it's not the same question, but that's very similar processes. I don't know who that was from, Kev. There was someone I think it was someone in the support tickets. How do we use checkouts download element, and how does it actually work? I'll let you take that, Kev, if you like.
Yeah, that's a little bit complicated, but it's totally possible. So let me share my screen. I don't know if I even have that on my test site or not here.
Do you need all right, do you need funnels? No, I can do it.
Let me get out of this one.
Anna's posted a question. Thank you, Anna. We'll try and get to those.
So in checkouts, when you go and create a product, you can go into included files, and you can upload your files here, or use the Amazon S3 integration, which I don't have set up on this site. But any downloads that you include through the product page here, so when you click add download, you can name it and upload a file and everything. Now when you add a download page, let me go find one here.
So you can create a new one if you like.
Yeah, I'll just use a blank page for now, just kind of show where the element is. So if you just start typing the word download, then you'll see under cart elements is checkout downloads. So you just drag that over and add it to the page. And then you can, change the color of the button and all that stuff. But all of these, like the file name and the description, is pulled in directly from the download that you added to the product in the checkouts plugin. So there's not a whole lot of customization here other than changing the text on the button and the button color. Other than that, you can probably change the fonts and stuff like that. Now, if you have multiple products in a funnel that have downloads on them, then when you reach the end of the funnel, you're going to want to add this element to your order summary page, or the thank you page, which is the last page you'll see after they purchase the final product in the funnel. And then it'll pull all of the downloads from all of the products in your funnel and show them on that page. So it's really easy to use, and that's what I would recommend that you set up.
Yes, this actually works because it's seen after the thank you page, and after they check out, usually you use it on the thank you page, so it knows the product they come from, right? So it knows where they've come from, and then it just connects that product to that element. You don't have to do anything within the element, do you? It knows the product you've purchased because it's on your thank you page or the order summary page, which is connected in the with your checkout,
exactly,
or your product if you've used a redirect. Yeah, so I think some people probably think they need to go and configure that and like change some of the options or something on it. I guess that's where they can get confusing, where it can get confusing. Okay, nice. I think we've gone through most of. We've got questions here from Anna, who's come in. Anna Luz has posted some stuff. Thank you. So I think that was all the questions we got submitted. So Anna's posted a lot of questions.
I can go through
let's
those
see if we've got 5 minutes. Yeah, do you want to? You can. We've got 5 minutes to go for it.
Yeah, so definitely add a login button to the homepage. That was the first question. I can't tell you how many times that I go to test somebody's membership site through a support ticket who just wants to know if it works on our end and what we think. I'd say 9 out of 10 of those do not include a login link on their site's homepage, and I think not having it is very confusing to a user. And I even see this in the real world too when I go on some stuff that I buy, and I have to email them like, hey, how do I log in? Where do you want me to log in at? So definitely include a link to that either in a button or in your site menu on the homepage. The next question
would say, sorry, can I just say one thing? If your main homepage is your sales page and still your lead capture page, you probably want to put it like in the footer somewhere down the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
But generally, that's where if you're building membership sites, usually you have it's a completely separate page, like members login or members home. You still usually need to link it from somewhere. So it depends how they usually buying that product. But yeah.
Yeah. Now the second question here, it sounds like a technical issue. So if you would please submit a support ticket for that. The third question.
Yeah, we can take a look at that.
Yeah.
We use the global element. I use it on quite a few sites, and it's fairly slick. It works for me, but I think it sounds like something, if it's taking forever, could be another plugin conflicting somewhere.
Regarding OptimizeLeads, we don't have our own email marketing platform as part of OptimizePress. You have to bring your own CRM for that, like ActiveCampaign, Aweber, MailChimp, ConvertKit, whatever you want to use for that. Because we don't.
Yes,
in OptimizePress, you have the option to use like a email data option, but we don't really have our own CRM. Maybe in the future we'll consider that, but at this time we don't. I'm not sure what you were talking about with integration with. Is it with Mentor? We don't have that in OptimizeLeads right now. maybe that's something we
Yeah,
could look into. Maybe adding a webhook option. Do we have a webhook option and
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I've not seen it. Just in the integration list, because it's quite clean. It's not WordPress, so it's just that list of integrations we've got there.
Yeah. Now, as far as Microsoft Teams webinar,
it's Teams, the platform. I think she means there.
Yeah, you probably need to use Zapier or Integromat or something like that, because we don't have a direct integration with that.
So it probably sounds like you need to get an email provider, Anna, like someone like ConvertKit, Aweber, ActiveCare, whoever, like BirdSend, someone. If you're starting out, ConvertKit or BirdSend ConvertKit's got free accounts. BirdSend has a low cost account. So it sounds like you need to get an email provider first, and then that's where you want to OptimizeLeads connects to that, and you can start collecting names and emails into your provider. And that's where you send your emails from, like ConvertKit or BirdSend, whoever. Sorry, Kev, I think that because I'm reading the other questions there.
Yeah. So regarding
So for Teams, you'd use Zapier, you're thinking?
Yes. I don't know if there's actually a Microsoft Teams on Zapier, but I'm just saying, it sounds like maybe, so Teams creates a registration form and lists automatically, but she wants to take that into her CRM, like ActiveCampaign or something. So I think Zapier can maybe make that connection somehow.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who uses Teams for marketing. I know obviously businesses use Teams for business stuff, but I don't know, I've not seen anyone do it for webinars. It's either a webinar platform. So there's possibly something. You can see they've got an integration with Zapier here, so you can probably fire leads into it. So I'm guessing it must do something like
that. Yeah. Okay, so
you on number 5 or 4? Which one are you on? Sorry,
4.
4. Okay.
So she basically wants to put a live video feed on an OptimizePress page. So the platform where you have that would give you like an embed code to put into your site. You would not use the video element for that, I don't think, because I'm not sure how that would work.
No, you wouldn't. I've used it. I've done it with YouTube Live, and you use the custom, this element on the screen here, the custom HTML.
Custom HTML element.
I was thinking of doing a webinar on that topic. I don't know if it would be interesting for people, showing them how we can run a YouTube Live and then embed it in the page. Because once you embed the scripts, use the custom element, Anna, for that. So go to elements on the left, you type in HTML, that gives you this element, custom element, drag it on the page, which is here. You then click on the element, click on there, and that's paste the code. And once you paste in that code and save it, then whatever you set on YouTube Live, for example, or Facebook Live, I've not tried their one, Facebook, but I know YouTube, and then it comes up whenever the date and stuff of that streaming.
Yeah, I think Facebook Live, you have to actually be on Facebook to see it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think you possibly embed it once it's gone live with Facebook, but yeah, it's not. If they don't make it easy for you to find the embed code, then usually you can't use it. Okay, do you want to go to the next one? Number 5, in Mentor lessons resources, can we upload docs with downloading option? PDFs,
yes,
XMLs, etc.
You can. That would basically just be the same as you want to definitely upload the files somewhere, either on your WordPress site or maybe Amazon S3 or some other cloud platform, and then get the link to that document and then just add it into like a button element or a link. So I'll just show you where to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's probably obviously depends on the resource and how.
This is one lesson page here, and you can see they already have options here to download stuff. So you would just click on this, and this is actually a button element. We just kind of made it kind of gray a little bit, and you just put the link to your document, or you can choose a media file from your library to to do that. So you can do a link URL, and then you just put the link to your document here.
S3 or
yeah. And then
like an external
you
storage.
could link to a media file on your WordPress site, and then you just choose a file from your media library if it's in there. You also have an option to show a pop-up overlay, or even jump to other elements that you can have. If you have the download in a different part of your page, you can do that. But generally, you'd use the link URL or link to media file option for this. Now, if you have, I'll show you another way to do this, is if you have an icon with text element, you could drop that in just anywhere on your page, and we can just make that text a little bit smaller there. And then you can choose like a download icon. Not sure if there's actually one there like that, like this one, for example.
Arrow.
And then just highlight your text and click the little link icon here, and then you can put your link in here as well. Now this only gives you an option for the link URL. So this is good if you're going to do it on like Amazon or something like that, or from a link from Dropbox or Google Drive, wherever your documents are. So it's basically just linking to the document. There's not really any download element like we have in the checkouts plugin that would work specifically for that, like protecting the downloads. So to protect them, you'd probably want to use Amazon S3 and set up some kind of bucket policy where the file can only be downloaded while somebody's on your page, and then obviously that page will be protected. So anybody seeing the link typically would already be logged into your
site. Protects it, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, the thingy policies are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
But they do work well, but you got a little bit more techy to set them up.
Exactly. All right. So last question here from Anna. It says, my Mentor Academy is basically for learning languages, so I need matching questions, answers. So it looks like you're looking for a quiz feature, which we do not have yet. I do know this has been something that's been discussed by the team, and hopefully we can add that at some point in the future. But right now, I'm sure there's some quiz plugins out there that you can use. I can't really think of any specifically.
I tested some a few years ago, and then I didn't. I didn't like them. You could have. You're welcome, Anna.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking if you could have them still answer. I know you can use like Typeform and stuff like that to do the quizzes, but it takes them off your site, so it's probably not an ideal solution. But definitely, that was something we know would be interesting, quizzing, because people want to run those kind of things.
Yeah.
We've got another couple of questions come in from people, so thank you. They keep coming. I'm aware of the time, so we'll probably leave it these two. So we've got Scott and Donnelly. Scott says he's investigating Peepso social integration. Do you think it would work okay with OP?
Yes.
You mentioned that it might be a good option, and I don't even know what Peepso is.
It's a like a forum. It's kind of like BuddyPress or BBPress.
Okay. What do you embed it in? Does it work?
Yeah,
is it like
I think it does. I've seen people use that before. I don't know how well it would work with Mentor. I don't know if it's possible to protect that forum with Mentor.
So does it create pages in WordPress, or is it embedded within WordPress?
Yeah, I'm not sure how it works, but I just know.
Okay.
It seems to me like Peepso is a very lightweight system, and I don't think it would conflict with anything in OptimizePress. But I'm not sure that you would be able to use that on a Mentor or OptimizePress page. I think they may use their own page structure or something.
Yeah, so I reckon so. I don't think you could use our platform to protect their pages on their site. But Scott, if you want to test it out, mate, and let us know what you find, we're all ears. Some of these things you can end up diving in, you get so excited, then just one thing doesn't work, and you suddenly go, rubbish. I'm not using it, but yeah, I mean, if you want it, I've never heard of it, but I mean, if you get it working, definitely let us know.
Yeah, you
Obviously
could
these
also
things are
look.
useful to other people.
You could also look into doing a Facebook group to start with and see, how much traction you get on that.
Yeah, that's a good thing, is actually, try another group or whatever your platform is, LinkedIn and Facebook, wherever you have those groups, try that first rather than going the effort of trying to build your own social network. Donnelly says, when I remove PMP, what will I need to do in Stripe to connect with Mentor? Does it require API or webhooks? Yeah, I'll let you answer. I don't know exactly what you do here,
Yeah,
Kev,
so
because I would leave.
there's two ways I
would
can answer
leave
this
it.
question. One is if you have Paid Membership Pro and you have integrated Stripe within Paid Membership Pro, that would go away when you deactivate the plugin. So what you're going to want to do is set up the Stripe integration within Optimized Checkouts.
So would those Stripe payments still not go through?
The Stripe
Or would it
payments,
cancel the subscriptions?
the subscriptions should still go through. Yeah, I don't think that would stop the,
Because they're in Stripe, aren't they? Yeah. I just wondered, if you delete the plugin, does it then remove those subscriptions? So, because you have all the data there, but the next trigger the next billing, how would that happen? That was my query.
My understanding about Paid Membership Pro is they set up the subscriptions in Stripe. So
Right.
those would still continue. You just wouldn't get the notifications back to the site about canceled subscriptions or refunds and things like that.
From Stripe, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Stripe wouldn't fire back. Okay, and sorry, what did you say? There's another way you could do it with webhooks?
The other possibility is if you're already using the Checkouts plugin and adding members to Paid Membership Pro that way, you don't need to do anything with Stripe at all. You would just need to make sure that the products in the Checkouts plugin have the integration rule changed from adding a member to Paid Membership Pro and change that to add a member to OptimizeMentor instead.
Yeah, definitely sounds complicated. Well, it doesn't. It's not complicated, but it's definitely a lot of check-in, a lot of connections to check, a lot of rules to check.
Exactly.
I'm just going to see if I can get into products there and show you. Yes, I'm not. She says, or Donnelly. Sorry, I'm not sure. She says it's got they're set up in checkouts too. So I think you mean you've already set them up in checkouts ready. But I'm guessing before that they were going through Paid Membership Pro.
Yeah. So
services.
just check the integration rules on the products and make sure that you have it set up for Mentor. Now, if you have members on your site and you need to add them to an OptimizeMentor level or membership, then you would need to do that manually through Mentor and members. And then you can bulk update things there as well. So just make sure the member's on the right membership for Mentor, and then you have changed the integration rules to add them to a Mentor level or membership when they buy something. And I think once you do all that and all your pages are protected by OptimizeMentor, then you wouldn't really need to have the Paid Membership Pro plugin activated.
Technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we definitely can help with that and support as well.
Okay. Switching them up? Okay, so it is something we would handle. I was actually then thinking it's probably out of the realm of most of the support guys. It might be far too technical for them.
Yeah.
Only for
just ask for Kevin. He'll help.
Yeah, and he might have his external freelance rates if it gets too technical. He can contact you.
Yeah.
But these kind of things we're actually discussing, whether these were services actually we offer people, because some people might actually be happy just to pay for it and go, yeah, can you just switch all over me, make sure it works? So that's something we might be looking at. You're welcome. Lots to look for before. Definitely don't just go and remove it, whatever you do. If anything, if you've got new members coming in, just get them coming in through OptimizeMentor and do it that way. So you've got the new people coming in through Mentor and then start looking at moving. Usually you can test it with like one person at a time, like turn them off inside PMP, and then you can usually test it one at a time before you do the whole bulk thing. Okay, should we wrap it up there, Kev?
Yeah, I think my brain is.
I think that was good. Yeah,
I need a break.
Your techie brain is. Yeah, need a break. Brilliant. Thanks everyone for turning up. I much appreciated. We love answering your questions actually. So it's great to see so many different sides of how you use OptimizePress. We really appreciate you throwing all your questions in. Yeah, you're welcome, Donnelly. No problem. And everyone else who's answered or asked and who's been on here through the webinar. We really appreciate you taking the time out. We've done it a bit earlier today. We're sort of going to switch up the times. They're not always going to be like in the evenings. I might even run some in the afternoons. It'll probably be me on my own then, because Kev's time. But we try and sort of catch the sort of European people who are literally in their office hours in the daytime. So we might be testing out different times. Don't always think they're going to be at this time of day. We'll let you know beforehand on all the webinars. So when you register, it says whether it's like 8 p.m. UK or we're just going to test different times. That's my point there. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Kev. Much appreciated for your technical knowledge that we have.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for being on here. We will love you and leave you all, I guess. That'll be wrap it up there. And we'll chat next time, Kev. I'm sure I chatted to you before.
All right.
Okay, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.